السلام عليكم، معكم أخوكم محمد الهندي. Question number 1. The solution set of 6x squared minus 11x minus 10 equals 0. This is a quadratic equation. We can solve it by factoring. قبل ما نستمر, what I would do is I would label each one A, B, and C. الحين negative 11 هو B ما راح نركز فيها الحين, بنرد لها بعدين. A و C. What two numbers do I multiply with each other يعطيني 6x squared? في 1x times 6x وفي 3x times 2x. بس sometimes the answers gives us hint. الحين بالأجوبة في 6x, في 6 يعني بشكل عام في رقم 6 بالأجوبة؟ لا ما في. فمستحيل بالفاكتورينج يكون في 6x. فبنستعمل 3x و 2x. والهنت الزيادة أصلا إنه بالأجوبة في 2 و 3. ونفس الشيء حق negative 10. What two numbers do we multiply with each other يعطينا negative 10. عندنا negative 1 times positive 10. أو negative 10 times positive 1. أو negative 2 times positive 5. أو negative 5 times positive 2. نفس الشيء بالأجوبة تشوفون في 10 أو negative 10. لا, فمستحيل negative 10 يكون بالفاكتورينج أصلا. ف we are left with either positive 2 times negative 5 أو negative 5 times positive 2. خلينا نجرب positive 2 و negative 5. ونفس الشيء أصلا بالأجوبة في negative 5 وفي 2. يعني في أرقام في 2 وفي 5. كان في 5 مني, في 5 مني, في 2 إلى آخره. يعني these are hints, small hints that could actually يعني save you time. الحين شلون أعرف إن الأرقام اللي أنا استعملتهم حق الفاكتورينج صح؟ شلون؟ الحين تشوفون 2 times 2 كم؟ 4. 3 times negative 5 كم؟ negative 15. 4 minus 15 كم؟ negative 11. إذا الإجابة اللي طلعتوها نفس B, نفس الشيء كان طلع negative 11 والبي اللي بالكوادراتيك equation is negative 11, يعني أنا أعرف إن الأرقام اللي أنا استعملتهم حق my factoring صح. الحين we proceed as we solve it like a normal equation. 3x plus 2 equals 0 و 2x minus 5 equals 0. Take to the other side. 3x equals negative 2. Divide by 3. X equals negative 2 على 3. Take 5 to the other side. 2x equals 5. Divide by 2. X equals 5 over 2. فالإجابة تكون D. Question number 2. The solution set of x squared minus 2 equals absolute value of x. مني absolute value of x can either be negative x, positive x. فهالسؤال we can write it in two forms. The first form هو يكون x squared minus 2 equals x. The second way اللي هو x squared minus 2 equals negative x. We take to the other side. So x squared minus x minus 2 equals 0. Take it to the other side. X squared plus x minus 2 equals 0. مني we factor. What two numbers do I multiply with each other يعطيني x squared? 1x times 1x. مني there's a coefficient, there's an invisible 1, but no, you usually don't write it when it's 1. وبعدين what two numbers do I multiply with each other يعطيني negative 2. في negative 2 و positive 1 ف minus 2 plus 1. وعشان شيك ان اللي انا استعملته صح we multiply negative 2 ب 1 بلس 1 طلع negative 2 و 1 times 1 يطلع positive 1. ف negative 2 plus 1 يطلع negative 1 وطلع نفس الشيء. شوف البي مني طلع negative 1. فمني انا اعرف ان الفاكتوري الارقام اللي انا استعملتهم صح. يعني تقريبا نفس الطريقة اللي استعملها حق question عشان يكون عندنا سبيس. ونفس الشيء من هناك. we factor مثل ما قلنا x ب x ان الرقمين الوحيدين اللي يعطينا x squared هو 1x times 1x و negative 2 we factor it when we factor شنو الرقمين يعطينا we multiply each other يعطينا negative 2 نفس مني بس مني استعمل negative 2 plus 1 فمني logically انه طالما مني positive ف we will use plus 1 و minus 2 sorry we would use plus 2 minus 1 عشان نرد نشيك if it's correct 2 times 1 يعطينا 2 و 1 times negative 1 يعطينا negative 1 2 minus 1 is 1 فطلع نفس الشيء. إذن خلاص we would solve for each x minus 2 equals 0 take to the other side you get the idea. فكل واحدة بتطلع x equals 2 وهاي بيطلع x equals negative 1 مني x equals negative 2 مني x equals 1. الحين شلون نعرف إذا أنا إذا شنو الإجابة الصح حق question number 2؟ we will check by subbing in the values. Let's sub in x equals 2 ف 2 to the power let's sub in 2 2 و 2 2 to the power of 2 4 4 minus 2 is 2 2 equals 2 فصح. خلينا نجرب negative 2 negative 2 squared minus 2 equals absolute value of negative 2 طلع 4 minus 2 absolute negative 2 يعني تطلع 2 equals 2 anything in an absolute value كل شيء يطلع كل نيجاتيف داخل absolute value يطلع positive. ف negative 2 is صح. It will give us a true state. It will be one of the solutions. الحين negative 1 if we sub in negative 1 let's try subbing in negative 1 negative 1 to the power of 2 minus 2 because absolute value of negative 1 negative 1 to the power of 2 1 minus 2 is negative 1 وهذا ما يصير negative 1 does not equal 1 لأن absolute value of any negative is positive. ف negative 1 is not a solution for us. It's not a solution for this question, for this equation. Let's try positive 1 1 to the power of 2 minus 2 is absolute value of 1. Absolute value 1 to the power of 2 is 1 1 minus 2 is negative 1 negative 1 does not equal 1 ف 1 is not a solution. The solutions that we have is negative 2 and 2 وطالما 2 negative 2 و 2 مو من ضمن الإجابات ف it's none of the above. الحين question number 3. The solution set of the inequality 7 minus x is greater than 5. لما يكون greater than we use or. شلون؟ we would write it in two forms. 7 minus x greater than 5 7 minus x is less than negative 5. Then we solve it like a normal inequality. We take 7 to the other side. Negative x is greater than negative 2 divided by negative 1 divided by negative 1. We pay attention. Whenever we divide by a negative value, you have to flip the sign. لازم you flip the sign. فمني تصير x is less than 2. نفس الشيء مني. You take 7 to the other side, it's a negative x is less than negative 12. Divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. نفس الشيء. Whenever we divide by a negative value, we have to flip the sign. X is greater than 12. بعدين مني what we would do طبعا الحين خلصنا. We got our answers اللي هو يكون x greater than 12 x less than 2. We plot it on a number line. Negative infinity, positive infinity. Now, الحين طالما ال less than وال greater than sign ما فيهم equal يعني then it's open circle. okay حط 2 مني 2 مني حط 12 مني. however لو كان greater than or equal أو less than or equal it will be shaded. بس طالما there is no equal we leave it as an open circle. however if it was greater than or equal or less than or equal لازم يكون shaded. والحين نشوف اتجاه الساين. x less than 2 الساين شي رايحة to the left so we take it to the left. والساين مني it's kind of going to the right so it goes to the right. المسافة اللي that the arrow takes up هو these are all the true solutions. فيعني من negative infinity to 2 و 12 to positive infinity. فالإجابة دي. بمسحها عشان يكون عندنا space. الحين the solution set of the inequality x plus 5 multiply x minus 2 على x plus 3 is greater than 0. مني أول شيء نسوي number line. ونحط negative 5 negative 3 و 2. من وين طلعناها كذا x plus 5 equals 0 take to the other side يصير x equals negative 5. نفس الشيء x minus 2 و 0 take to the other side يصير positive 2 وإلى آخره. you get it. This is the first step this is what you should do. الحين مثل ما قلنا الساين مني طالما it's only greater than أو less than يعني طالما it's greater than without any equal sign there's no line تحته فيعني it's open circle و open circle يعني this is not included. okay لو كانت shaded circle يعني this is included. فاهمين يعني الحين negative 5 و negative 3 و 2 these are not included in the solution set. بس لو كان greater than or equal they would be included and they would be shaded. الحين من يكون negative infinity positive infinity. الحين we would check. خلينا ناخذ رقم in between negative infinity و negative 5 negative 6 خلينا نجرب negative 6 negative 6 مني خلينا نقول negative 6 negative 6 Question number 4. The solution set of the inequality x plus 5 times x minus 2 على x plus 3 is greater than 0. أولا we take x plus 5 x minus 2 x plus 3. You would start off by solving it normally. You take this to the other side فواحدة بتطلع x minus 1 x equals واحدة بتطلع x equals negative 5 x equals positive 2 و x equals negative 3. Then we would put these numbers on a number line. بس قبل ما proceed أبيكم تفهمون شغلة صغيرة. ال open circle اللي we use it لو كانت بس greater than أو less than هذا يعني هل value is not included. يعني هل value it's not included in this solution set for example. إيه؟ بس it would be shaded circle if it was greater than or equal or less than or equal. This hell example when it's shaded يعني this value is included in this solution set. okay الحين تفهمون أكثر مني. This is greater than بس ما فيها لا equal لا شيء. يعني هل 3 values كله بيكون open circle. أو let's plot them. negative 3 positive 2 negative infinity positive infinity كله will be open circle. This means in the health 3 values they are not included in the solution set of this inequality. الحين in order to check for the other values بناخذ in between. يعني على سبيل المثال أنا باخذ negative 6 in between negative infinity و negative 5 أنا باخذ negative 6 عشان check what other values أنا أقدر يعني is a part of my solution set that would make this inequality true. الحين negative 6 أنا بجرب negative 6 فنحط مني negative 6 negative 6 plus 5 كم negative 1 negative 6 minus 2 كم negative 8 negative 1 times negative 8 my negative 6 plus 3 negative 3 8 على negative 3 بيعطيني negative number. و is it true that a negative number is greater than 0 لا negative 6 isn't a part of my solution. فيعني كل شيء between negative infinity and 5 is not included. فنحط negative مني. وطالما مني negative يعني مني positive ومني negative ومني positive. يعني it's alternating. وإذا مني positive فمني negative positive negative. بس فالإجابة بتكون من negative 5 ل negative 3 and من 2 to positive infinity. يعني الإجابة دي. If z equals 2xw plus 2yw plus 2yx, then what is y? They want us to solve for y. مني الحين تشوفون ان في 2yw plus 2yx. نقدر احنا ناخذ common factor. y we can take it as a common factor. So we write it as z equals 2xw plus y open parentheses 2w plus 2x. احنا خذينا y as a common factor. الحين we would solve it like we would solve it as a normal equation. We would solve for y. So we take 2xw to the other side. تصير z minus 2x w equals y. Parentheses 2w plus 2x divide by 2w plus 2x divide by 2w plus 2x. فالإجابة بتكون y equals c minus 2xw على 2w plus 2x. وكاهي الإجابة إيه. Question number 6. Negative 1 على x minus 1 plus 2 على x minus 2. These are unlike fractions. The denominator is not the same. So we will use LCD, least common denominator. عشان نخلي denominators نفس الشيء. So we would multiply this by x minus 2. And we would multiply this by x minus 1. نفس الشيء مني. Multiply x minus 2. Multiply x minus 1. What you do to the denominator, you do to the numerator. الحين بالأجوبة حاطي لكم إياها بطريقة factoring. فما في داعي إنه you multiply them with each other. So you would leave it as it is. الدينومينيتر بيكون كذي. x minus 2 multiply x minus 1. It doesn't matter أي يعني بأي order they're in. وبعدين we would solve for the numerator. Negative 1 times x negative x. Negative 1 times negative 2 يصير positive 2 plus هل plus 2 times x is 2x و 2 times negative 1 negative 2. فبيصير negative x plus 2x x بيصير 1x و plus 2 minus 2 بيصير it will be 0. فالإجابة is x على x minus 2 multiply x minus 1. هذه this will be the answer. فالإجابة بتكون C. Question number 7. 2x cubed minus 5x squared minus 28x plus 15. For this equation, you can use several ways. Grouping, factoring, and you could just factor straight away. What I would use is synthetic division. And I would use synthetic division لأن مثل ما قلت قبل answers الأجوبة they can give us hints. والhint that I got إن كل جواب في x minus 5 x minus 5 x minus 5 x minus 5. لأن في x minus 5 I can take this x minus 5 طيب equals 0 طيب x equals 5 I could use this 5 for my synthetic division ونحط 2 negative 5 negative 28 و positive 15. This would come down 2 times 5 10 negative 5 plus 10 equals 5 5 times 5 plus 25 negative 28 plus 25 gives us negative 3 negative 3 times 5 equals negative 15. It will equal 0. Then we would write it as a quadratic equation. This would come down as 2x squared, and this will come down plus 5x. This will come down as minus 3. This is our remainder. Then we could factor it from here. What two numbers do I multiply with each other يعطينا 2x squared 2x و x. What two numbers do I multiply with each other يعطينا negative 3. I could use negative 1 و positive 3. اوكي الحين شلون اقدر اتاكد ان الفاكتورينج الارقام اللي انا استعملتهم صح؟ مثل الاسئله اللي we did them just like the questions we did. negative 1 times 1 so negative 1 2 times 3 then a positive 6 فنيجاتيف 1 plus 6 يعطينا 5. فأنا مني I know اللي الأرقام اللي استعملتها حق my factoring is correct. بعدين that's it. بس our answer will be 2x minus 1 و x plus 3 و x minus 5 اللي احنا we used it from the start. أي الإجابة C. Question number 8. 5 to the power of 2x plus 1 over 5 to the power of 1 minus 2x. This is this you should know your exponent rules. Exponent divided by an exponent يعني it's minus. فنحط 2x plus 1 minus 1 minus 2x. We distribute the negative, which is 2x plus 1 minus 1 plus 2x. 2x plus 2x يعطينا 4x و 1 minus 1 will give us 0. Further answer will be 5 to the power of 4x, which is B. The solution set of 7 to the power of x squared plus 20 equals 7 to the power of 9x. تقريبا نفس الشيء اللي سويناه فوق. تاخذون exponents تحطون x squared plus 20 equals 9x. Take it to the other side. X squared minus 9x plus 20 equals 0 plus 0. and now we would factor it. The two numbers that we multiply with each other يعطينا x squared و x و x ما في غيرهم. The two numbers that we would multiply with each other that would give us 20, we could use is -4 and -5. again عشان نتأكد إذا الأرقام اللي احنا استعملناهم صح. -4 times 1 -4 x times -5 is -5. الإجابة عطانا -9 و this equals this. الأرقام اللي أنا استعملتها for my factoring is correct. Oh, that's it. Solve it. -4 goes to the other side. X equals 4 and x equals 5. 4 و 5. These are the solutions. صح. فالإجابة A. Question number 10. 2 على 3 minus 3 على 4 minus 1 على 2. For this, I would start answering what's in parentheses. 3 على 4 minus 1 على 2. Unlike fraction, so we use LCD, least common denominator. So this is multiplied by 1, multiplied by 1, multiplied by 2, multiplied by 2. 3 minus 2 and 4, so 1 and 4. So this will be 1 and 4. 1 and 4. We need 2 على 3 minus 1 على 4. Again, unlike fractions, we use LCD, least common denominator, times 4 times 3 times 4 times 3. 8 على 12 minus 3 على 12. فالإجابة تكون 8 minus 3 تكون 5 على 12 same denominator. فالإجابة تكون C. Question number 11. The domain of f of x equals 1 over square root of x minus 1. How we would solve this is ال1 ما نشغل فيها. Okay? We focus on the denominator. Numerator ما نشغل فيه. Denominator هو square root of x minus 1. This لما نشوفون square root of x minus 1 بالdenominator يعني x is greater than هو يعني x minus 1 is greater than 0. You take negative 1 to the other side. X is greater than 1. فيعني the answer, the domain of f of x equals 1 على square root of x minus 1 is from 1 to infinity. إجابة دي صح. C فيها 1 to positive 1 to positive infinity. بس هذه البراكت يعني it's included in our solution set. The denominator ال1 isn't. إن نبي كل شيء greater than 1. If it was greater than or equal to 1 ديش الساعة C would be correct. بس it only said x is greater than 1 يعني كل شيء فوق ال 1. 1 is not included with us. The parentheses indicates in it's not included. Brackets indicates in it is included. في الإجابة دي. Question number 12. If f of x equals x squared minus 1, then f of x minus 1 equals what? سهل. We just sub in the value. We just sub in x اللي مني with x minus 1. So x minus 1. You would solve this by doing FOIL. Or should we do the first x times x squared, then the outer, outside, x times -1 is negative x, then inner -1 times x is negative x, and then the last -1 times -1 is positive 1 minus 1, x squared minus 2x plus 1 minus 1 equals 0. Our answer is B. الحين نروح على applications. Question number 13. Prices in a sale were reduced by 20%. If the price of the washing machine was 120 KD before the sale, then its sale price is مني this is percentage. I would solve it to the 120 على 1 multiply 80 على 100. ليش حطيت 80؟ 120. الحين we're talking about percentages. If the price of a washing machine was 120 KD before the sale, it was at 100% of the price. عقب السيل شنو؟ السيل price مالها لما 20% was discounted was reduced. We are buying it at 80% of the price instead of 100. We put 80. الحين 0 راحت مع 0 مني و0 راحت مع 0 مني. 12 times 8 فصارت 12 على 1 times 8 على 1 12 times 8 كم؟ 96. Answers. Question number 14. During an operation, the heartbeat of a patient has increased by 25%. He was given a medication that decreased the heartbeat by 20% to reach 60 beats per minute. The heartbeat before the operation was شنو? Okay. During an operation, the heartbeat of a patient has increased by 25%. احنا الهارتبيت ما نعرف شنو هو. How many شنو الهارتبيتس were. فنحط X. This is the heartbeat. هو X. Heartbeat هو X. It increased by 25%. It was 100%. الحين it increased by 25%. 125% of the original the original heartbeat. For 125% could be written as 1.25. For 1.25. He was given a medication that decreased the heartbeat by 20%. 80% of the original 125 of the 125%. So multiply 0.8. كل هذا to reach 60 beats per minute. .25 times 0.8 equals 1 x. 1x equals 60 divided by 1 divided by 1 x equals 60. بالأجوبة ما في 60 فالسنة the above. Question number 15. If 5 rabbits consume 70 kilograms of food per week, then how much food is consumed by 8 rabbits in 3 days? Okay. الحين أحط R و kg. R stands for rabbits و kg is the kilograms amount of food that's being the amount of kilograms of food being consumed. بنحط 5 rabbits 70 kilograms. فكم 8 rabbits. How many kilograms can 8 rabbits consume? الحين هل 70 kilograms it's talking about the amount of food eaten in a week. Okay, خلينا نحولها to days to make it more equal on equal scaling days of days. In 1 week how many days are there? 7. For 70 divided by 7 is 10. For 70 divided by 7 يساوي 10. For 10 kilograms of food is eaten by 5 rabbits in 1 day. Now this is a direct relationship. For a direct relationship we cross multiply. In inverse لا. We multiply linearly. if it was inverse نحط 5 times 10 and 8 times x. لا بس لأن it's direct we put 5 times x و 10 times 8. So 5 times x is 5x, or 8 times 10 is 80. Divide by 5, divide by 5, x equals 16. X equals 16. الحين this is 16 kilograms per day. In 3 days كم؟ الحين we need to pay attention and this is 16 kilograms in 1 day. السؤال طلب in 3 days. ف 16 times 3 كم؟ 48. That's it. 48. So the answer is B. وعشان I further explain why this is a direct relationship in obviously the more rabbits that if the amount of rabbits will increase, then obviously the amount of kilograms of food will increase too. Then more rabbits would eat more food. But this is a direct relationship. But you see, more rabbits equals more food being consumed, more kilograms of food being consumed. Okay. Question number 16. This is the opposite of question number 15. If 6 workers can finish a job in 8 days, then how many workers are needed to finish the same job in 4 days? بنحط W اللي هو workers و day هو days. 6 8 and X 4. So 6 workers can finish a job in 8 days. So how many workers are needed for X? How many workers are needed to finish the same job in 4 days? مني it's inverse. لأن obviously if إذا عدد العمال زاد فأكيد عدد الأيام بتقل. It's inverse. We multiply linearly. 6 times 8 is 48. 4 times x is 4x. Divide by 4, divide by 4. X equals 12. فالإجابة. Question number 17. Ahmed can finish a job in 3 hours while Mansour needs 9 hours to finish the same job. How long does it take to finish this job if Ahmed and Mansour work together on it? The formula that we would use is T at the first plus T at the second equals 1. What does this mean? El T stands for together. The amount of time that, let's just say these two individuals will take finishing a certain job. على الفرست هو عدد الساعات, the number of hours Ahmed took to finish his job, and second هو the amount of hours needed for Mansour to finish the job. فنحط T على 3 plus T على 9 equals 1. Let's have the same, we want the same denominator, but we'll use LCD. فهذا مني times 3 times 1 times 3 times 1 3T plus T على 9 should give us 4T على 9. Equals 1. Then we cross multiply. بيعطينا 4T equals 9 divided by 4 divided by 4. But T equals 9 over 4. طالما none of the answers طلع نفس إجابتنا, the answer is D. None of the previous. Number 18. A hotel charges X KD per night plus 8% tax applied to the room rate. The hotel also charges an untaxed 5 KD per stay in the hotel. how much would a guest pay if he stays for M nights? Okay. A hotel charges XKD per night plus 8%. فهل XKD is at 100% of the price. ضفنا عليها 8% tax فصارت 108%. Okay? So 1.08. You have to pay 100% of the price plus 8% of plus زيادة 8% of the price as tax. فتصير 1.08. Okay? The hotel also charges an untaxed 5KD per stay in the hotel. Untaxed يعني ما له شغل بالoriginal price نفسها. Okay? فتكون بروحها. Plus 5. يعني it's like an extra charge. خلينا نقول. الحين how much would you guys pay if he stays for M night? M هو number of nights مثل قلنا X هو charge هو price اللي would pay per night. فذاتس هذه هي الإجابة. ف 1.08 MX هو MX يعني the amount of money would pay per night. وال 1.08 اللي هو ال 100% of the original price plus 8% tax على ال 100% فصارت 1.08 charge fee per night plus 5 زيادة 5KD extra untaxed يعني كأنه an extra fee يعني تدفع زيادة كذي. A farm had 50 cows at the beginning of 2018. If it is estimated that the number of cows will double every 6 years, then which of the following will give the estimated number of C cows M years after 2018? Okay. حطوها قاعدة. طالما شفتوا double يعني you'd use this rule. عدد the number of whatever cows, chickens, boxes, desks double على fraction. كلمة every time you see double this is the general formula you would use. Okay? اتفقنا؟ الX اللي هو عدد the quantity of whatever it is the question asked, whether it's cows, chickens, desks, pencils إلى آخره, in between parentheses 2 to the power of a fraction. يعني with this formula we can easily cross out COD. Now, these are linear and نبي exponent. Okay? وطالما A isn't a fraction ف A is excluded. فإنها 6M احنا بيها a fraction. ف the exponent of answer number A isn't a fraction. So the only correct answer here is B. يعني في أسئلة تنحل ما يبي لها يعني إن you put a lot of effort and you even write anything. وهذا من الأسئلة اللي تنحل خلال ثواني in my opinion. Okay. Question number 20. The cost in KD of producing M items in a factory is C equals 7M plus 350. The factory sells each item for 12 KD. What is the minimum number of items that must be sold for the factory to make profit? Okay. For these types of questions, I want you to understand one thing. In order to make profit, the selling price must be higher than the cost of producing whatever item. Okay. تحقق قاعدة الحين. The cost the cost in KD of producing M items in a factory is C equals 7M plus 350. نحط 7M plus 350. هذه هي الcost. Okay. The factory sells each item for 12 KD. The selling price كم؟ 12. What is the minimum number of items that must be sold for the factory to make profit? Okay. لما نحط 12M لأن M items فالvariable حق ال 12 هو M يعني 12M. و you start answering like a normal inequality. You take this here, 12M minus 7M is greater than 350. 12M minus 7M is 5M. It's greater than 350. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. M is greater than 70. الحين, what is the minimum number of items that must be sold for the factory to make profit? يعني نبي the minimum amount of items that is still more than 70. الإجابة C 71 لأن هذه 71 أقل رقم من الitems من المنتجات اللي أنا أقدر أبيعها that is still higher than 70. يعني أبي رقم أعلى من 70 بس نفس الوقت هذا أقل عدد أقدر أبيعها عشان I still make a profit. فالإجابة C which is 71.